Welcome back, everyone, to my very first Genshin Impact playthrough. This is the Sumeru arc, and yeah, this one was long. I went into this thinking it was just another region to explore, you know, a couple quests, some new characters, but I couldn't have been more wrong. We're talking hours of gameplay here, like way too many things happening, and so many points where I'm just like, what's real, what's not real. But you know what? Let's just dive on in. There's a lot of exploration to cover, a lot of chaos, and so much emotional damage, and pretty much everything in between. So let's get into Sumeru. And of course, Paimon and I are off to a rocky start. I guess you're not supposed to fly into Sumeru. I'm going to figure that out by the end of this video. But you're supposed to go through this tunnel right here. So we had to do a little backtracking to start, but you know, it's not the end of the world. We got a nice little cutscene here with the jungle and an already discovered statue of the Seven. I wonder how that happened. Paimon and I asked for directions from a random jungle lady, and you know, that always leads to good things, is asking directions from random people you meet in the jungle. And of course, she ignored us. And in all of Paimon's infinite wisdom, she decided that we should follow the creepy jungle lady all the way back to her cave. Somehow, after smelling whatever the creepy jungle cave lady was smoking, I ended up tripping out and in somewhere that wasn't where I was 2 seconds ago. And then things got really weird when the tree started to talk to me. Things go from bad to worse when I wake up in a stranger's tent. I don't know, there's leaves, another yurt, maybe a hilly churl yurt. And of course, Paimon's there just talking to people, just integrated into their society. Oh, thank goodness you're finally awake. Yeah, that helps Paimon. So it turns out that this clumsy chick and this very fancy ear guy are the ones taking care of me after the trip of a lifetime, which is great because I don't remember agreeing to be adopted, but here we are, I guess. Look at these fantastic ears, though. Like, wow. What kind of ears are those supposed to be anyway? Maybe like a bat's? Yeah, that feels right. Anyway, he is now permanently Bat Ear Boy. No further questions. So, Paimon and I decide, hey, we want to help out, and they decide that we need to go clean the statue of the Seven. They also wanted me to find Hypatia, this drug-dealing crack addict. So, other than cleaning the statue of the Seven, he also wants me to take emergency rations to her. Paimon and I find her pretty much unresponsive, passed out on the forest floor, and I'm sure that's a totally normal side effect of connecting with the forest. There's nothing concerning here at all. And of course, walking into this drug den results in me and Paimon vividly hallucinating because the outside world just completely changes on us. So I start looking for a special cave, and of course the mushrooms are aggressive, and I'm not even surprised at this point. But I'm sure it's freaking out poor Paimon. I went from being attacked by mushrooms to using mushrooms as transportation. This is character development. At this point, I'm not even exploring anymore. I'm just glitching between regions because somehow I end up back in Inazuma. I run into the Abyss Herald again, and at this point, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to fight him or just invite him to family gatherings, because Lumine spends a lot of time with this guy. What are your intentions with my sister? After the fight with my future brother-in-law, Paimon and I decide, you know what, we're not going to do drugs anymore because Hypatia took off and robbed us after she drugged us. After making it back from that awkward future family encounter, Paimon and I decide we're going to Sumeru City. Had to put some ex-citizens of the lost city of Conria out of their misery so I could open a chest. Lore-wise, it really is tragic. I gotta get rid of them, but I need those Prima Gems. This chest didn't even have them. Oh, no, it did. It had two. Okay. Whew. Well, there it is. Sumeru City. Not as picturesque as Mondstadt or Liyue, but hey, big tree. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen the Dendro Archon? No? Thank you.
Sumeru City! We finally made it!
Couldn't have said it better myself, Paimon. But when we were here, there were some strange things immediately. So this guy tells me that I have to wear something that kind of uploads all of my thoughts and dreams and wishes into a supercomputer that they have hiding in this tree. This is the thing they want me and Paimon to wear. For some reason, it won't give us any information on the Dendro Archon. Walked around town and found a nice tavern where I met a girl named Charizard and her creepy friend Dia, who has 4 ears. 2 on her head, and then I guess 2 on the side of her head. 2 on the top of her head, and 2 on the side of her head. Actually, let's break this down, because I'm just as confused as the rest of us. So we have 1, 2, 3, and presumably 4, but that's not confirmed. So Charizard wants to hire Paimon and I as party planners. Also, she has a lot of emotional trauma, and she's sick. And she hears voices in her head, but we're hoping it's Lesser Lord Kusanali, not, you know, anything more sinister. Oh, look at all these recipes we found. I know, Paimon, I know. Calm down. After cleaning up the tavern of all their recipes, we made it to the Grand Bazaar, and we met Moo-loo, the half cow, half girl in the Grand Bazaar. More like Moo-loo, you know, because the horns. I'm sorry. I don't deserve to be in the city. Mondstadt ruined me. Well, I started running all over town, being errand boy, talking to every single person in the Grand Bazaar for some reason. And then I see Catherine, out in the wild, unsupervised. That just can't be allowed. I've seen hilly churls the size of small buildings, and I've fought literal gods, but this is the most unnerving thing I've seen in the game so far. Well, after that near-death experience... Wait, is that a bird? It's been a while since we got some of that bird meat. No! The meat! Took me a while to find it, but we found it on the floor. Floor bird meat. So now I have to make my way to Port Omos. Jeez. Now I have to make my way to Port Omos. Wow. Alright, take 2. Now we have to make our way to Port Ormos. And I have to cut a bloody swath across the countryside just to make it there. Also save some random traveler from these danger shrooms on the road. So after saving her life, she rewards me with more work in the form of destroying more danger shrooms and getting rid of this stuff called the Wither, which is kind of like if you or a loved one got caught in the Wither, call this 1-800 number because it's just really not good for you. And then here I am, just moving along using these little Spider-Man doohickeys, when I come across all these giant fuzzballs just laying out in a field. And it turns out, if you attack their young, they are not very friendly. So, back to the drawing board. I found this massive antlered god over here in the hills by the fuzzballs, and Sumeru is just not a very safe place. I finally make it to Port Ormos, and I mean barely. Paimon and I decide to spy on some students to find out what happened with these stolen items. And honestly, a lot of these students kind of just look like really bad Venti cosplayers, I'm not even gonna lie. Gave this random guy named Tarek 500,000 Mora on a whim, and it almost gave Paimon a heart attack. Luckily for me and Paimon though, this guy named Hamhaitham, this ham guy, he saved the day, and he got us our Mora back. The Haminator decides that I get to buy illegal knowledge capsules, which I guess go straight to your head and get you feeling all good, and he teaches me how to pick out the good stuff. But I could not for the life of me get the plug to trust me. I need to pay attention. After multiple failed attempts, I finally get him to introduce me to Dory. Dory is just an Elton John lookalike, but also a Mora goblin. We end up picking the good stuff, just like Haminator taught us to. End up breaking the first rule of knowledge dealing and use our own supply. Fight a bunch of aggressive shroom heads. Watched a giant guy end up on a bad trip, and I bet you he bought his knowledge from Dory. Remember this, kids. Don't do knowledge capsules. The guy ends up getting arrested, so I have to skip town because I am in way too deep in the illegal knowledge capsule world. We learned everything we needed from Hamhaitham, so we're going to head back to Sumeru City and start our own trade. Got a little revenge on the fur balls from earlier. Felt real good. Turns out even the hilly churls have domesticated these fur balls, which is not good. Like, Sumeru may have bigger problems on the horizon. We finally made it back to Sumeru City and met up with Charizard. And somehow I get shanghaied into going on a date with Charizard, which is impressive because I'm pretty sure I never agreed to any of this. So the day of the date is here, and I don't want to do this! So of course we start the date with an absolute snail pace of walking. Like, look at her, she's taunting me. She's like, let's see how slow I can make you walk down this steep grade here.
2,000 years later.
We finally make it to our first stall, and of course it's just a fruit stall. She's seen all these fruits her whole life. Wow, fascinating. Great job. Mushrooms, flowers, good job, Paimon. The next stall has a Venti cosplayer, and he's a real hack at telling the future, so this was a waste of time. I'm gonna give you a severed lizard tail because I'm psychotic. Caught this strangely dressed man handing out candy to children and put a stop to it immediately. Had to choose between 5 boxes to get some candy for Paimon, and I'm sure whatever box I pick is gonna send us to another crazy tree dimension. This poor city is just addled with drug addicts. At least these odds aren't 50-50 followed by extreme emotional damage. On our way back from the date, we got ambushed by some bandits wearing their little Bluetooths. Luckily, Dea was there and told me to slowly walk away with Miss Charizard, and she was going to handle the bandits with the Bluetooth. We had 1 whole minute, so of course I stopped at the blacksmith to get some items refined. Dea made it back and she only had a little cut on her arm. The date is in its final stages when a guy wearing a popcorn bucket on his head cancels the little half cow, half girl's, what's her name, Moo-loo's dance. Paimon and I finally make it back to our hotel room and we talk about how the next Sub-Zero festival is going to be great, but our date is slowly dying. Well, quickly dying, and that's what's so sad. And then we hear a smoke detector low on batteries and the screen goes black. The arrival of the Sub-Zero festival... Am I not paying attention? Did I miss something? My game's broken? There's something wrong here.
Good morning, Dinyarzad. Sorry we're late.
No, we're not sorry we're late. We had a terrible time yesterday. What is happening? What do you mean start with the stalls? We're not doing the stalls again. No, I'm going to stand here. We're not going anywhere, Paimon. I don't like this. Oh, no way we're going back to those stalls. They are not going to Groundhog Day me. No way. Come on, Paimon. We are getting the heck out of here. We are not doing this. If I'm going down, you're all going down with me. Every single day. I'll be seeing you and your friends tomorrow. Alright, Charizard. I guess you give me no choice. Let's just do this again. So the real boss fight's just eating the same food every single day in Sumeru, huh? The lizard tail guy was just as underwhelming as the first time around. Alright, I'm gonna change it up on the creepy candy guy, and I'm gonna go with number 1 instead of number 4 this time. Yeah, it's definitely number 1.
Number 4 is indeed Sunsetia.
That's kind of creepy. I chose number 1. I don't think I chose number 4. I finally came to my senses and ended up ditching Charizard. Well, the rest of the day, the Bluetooth bandits tried to get Charizard again. The popcorn hat guy shut down the traditional cow dance again. And someone needs to change the batteries in that dang fire alarm. Quest complete. Let's go, baby. I'm about to become a public safety concern if I have to hear Paimon say good morning to Charizard one more time. I swear every time I look away, the candy boxes move. I'm trapped in a bad dating simulator where every path leads to box 4. At first I feared the boxes. Now I understand them. Soon I will become them. Run, Paimon! So this tiny evil looking child apparently knows exactly why I'm reliving the same day over and over, but refuses to explain it because it would blow my mind.
Oh yeah.
Nahida, huh? I think you're gonna be Forest Gremlin. So basically the Forest Gremlin tells me that I have to retrace my steps and remember every memory that I don't remember somehow, but I also do remember. And then I have to go back and talk to the same people that I've been talking to this whole time. She knows I've eaten the same candy 47 times now. Long story short, and I mean long, repetitive, and psychologically exhausting, we finally discover that it was Moo-loo's dream, who, if you forgot, is the dancer. Well, supposedly. We've never actually seen her get to dance, but she's supposed to be the dancer. So we finally figured out how to make her realize that she was dreaming, and that's good because I'm becoming permanently attached to box 4, so that's becoming quite unhealthy. Moo-loo finally gets to do her little dance. Poor Charizard's a ghost because the hilly churls got to her before the plague could. Paimon and I wake up again, but this time I think it's for real. I forgot to mention that the Forest Gremlin can possess just about anyone she wants, and she's been walking around in Catherine. So, I finally escaped the festival, and box 4, and I'm thinking, great, the nightmare's over, we'll talk to the Forest Goblin for 5 minutes and move on. Absolutely not! Now apparently we have an entire new quest line where I have to fix Irminsoul. Cool. So the first stage of the plan to get the tree better is to show up and have all these people cheer for us. Then we met the Dotor. Then the Dotor tried to give me a social anxiety attack. Run, Paimon! And it worked because we went and watched Hilly Churls just unalive themselves with fire flowers. Apparently the Dotor decided that I haven't been attacked enough today and sent these goons after me. I can't help but to think about how Box 4 is doing. You know, we really bonded back there. So at first I thought Kali was cussing me out, but it turns out I have to go find the Bat Ear Boy at Party's DI. She wasn't cussing, it's a place, not a swear word. Met up with possessed Catherine, who can track me by my energy levels, which feels less like magic and more like a toxic relationship. And then the possessed robot Catherine gets murdered, which was tragic. We made our grand escape, but I was also possessed by the evil little forest goblin. I found a ruin guardian, which was good, because after being possessed by the forest goblin, a giant murder robot was kind of calming. Decided to do a little cooking. Gooba, no. Really? You're burning everything? There we go. Then I saved a burning wagon, was murdered by a group of large and very aggressive slimes, and then we finally made it to Caravan Ribat. Why does Ribat sound more like a side effect than a city? Oh well, doesn't matter. Haminator met up with us, and then ran away from me as soon as I said hello. Just like my dating life. The wise Ham and I spied on some people, and then he told me to meet him in Aru village. Somehow I ended up in the desert, and I did not take a knowledge capsule, so I don't think I'm hallucinating. Attacked a couple pony-sized sand lobsters. Finally made it to my very first desert town. And oh my gosh, is this considered Sumeru too? The desert? Why is this so big? Where's Mondstadt at? Where are we? Oh, we're a long ways from home. Alright, finally, Aru village. After the endless desert, the heat, the sand lobsters, and whatever weird psychological warfare Sumeru's been putting me through lately, I feel like this is going to be a nice peaceful little village. Nobody trying to possess me, no time loops, no giant mushrooms trying to launch me into orbit. This is great. Honestly, I think things might finally start calming down. Why is that man flying at us? Ham man, do something. Paimon, run! Why does every person attack us? Where are Paimon and I during this fight, you ask, eh? Run, Paimon! Don't worry, Hammy boy. We're back to back you up. After the assassination attempt, we decide, you know what? Let's all go have dinner. And Paimon's just hitting him with some bangers.
Sure, why not? Sounds fun.
After an awkward dinner, they send me, the powerful traveler, to go find Isaac's grandfather. Son? No, wait, it's grandfather. Listen, the desert heat is just cooking me alive. So, after all that investigation, my best clue is go check the mysterious disease hospital, which feels like the start of a terrible, terrible idea. And of course, it's infested with bandits and hilly churls. And whatever that godforsaken thing is, we might be in trouble here. Oh yeah, we're definitely in trouble. Luckily, that hilly giant just threw me through the wall, so I was able to find this guy cowering in the corner. We brought him back for another tense dinner, and it made him want to kill himself even more, and honestly, I feel that at this point. When's this quest going to end? After dinner, we went Easter egg hunting, but all we found was these broken tiaras. Dia almost got her hand cut off, but thankfully the ramen man stopped it right at the last second. So now that we did all that, we're gonna meet this guy in the desert so we could trade the Haminator for some broken scholars. And of course, Sumeru continues to get much, much larger, and I have to do some walking. Now that is a hole. I wonder what happens if you fall in there. So does Paimon. We're not going in there, Paimon. But you, sir, you're going in the hole. Man, that guy fell forever. Whoa! So did that fuzzball! Oh no! What do we have here? We got some hilly churls getting chased down by one of the fuzzballs? Run, hilly churls! Those things are dangerous! Well, let's open this map up and see what we got here. Yeah, just the sheer size of Sumeru has been just unhinged, for lack of a better word. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice pyramid, but I feel like someone kind of lost their vision there. They like finished the pyramid and were like, you know what, we need more pyramid. So they started another one up there. I was hoping I was gonna run into one of these guys. Come on, buddy, time to get out of, whoa! Never come between a man and his ruined guardian. What's wrong, buddy? What? A book? I don't yearn for reading. I yearn to hit a giant robot with my sword. Look at this intimidating crew. We're for sure gonna get our hostages back. Spoke too soon, as always. So, good news. I think I found Irminsul. Nobody freak out, but I think the campaign is finally closing to an end. False alarm, it's just some priest named Kasala. Great news though, Lord Rukkhadevata and King Deshret are homies, so there's really no more problems between the desert people and the people of the jungle. We can all get along now. Hopefully. Oh, thank you, history lesson. So now the Eremites are on our side, and to prove it to us, they kidnapped 2 Venti impersonators. Poor impersonators, but still impersonators. So after a lot of awkward dinners, we decide, you know what, the best way to settle this is to fight.
Let's show them we Eremites are not to be messed with.
But don't worry, the way I light these people on fire and zap them with electricity and hit them with my sword, it's all an act. None of this is real. Don't worry about it. Now we got the Eremites on the way to the academia, so step 1's done. Then right in the middle of our plan for our coup, Dea's like hitting on me and asking me for me to smile. I don't know. Sorry, Dea, you seem nice, but my heart really just belongs to unresolved family trauma right now. Bad timing, I guess. Got some intel on the Doter from Fancy Bat Ear Boy. I stalked a couple Ratatouille guys to find out where the doctor was, because I am a master of stealth. Look at me go. Then after all that hard work, all that sneaking around, he saw me in this giant open gaping door and waved at me. How embarrassing is that? You can say whatever you want about the Ratatouille, but they are well dressed. But yeah, I had to stop him from killing Hypatia, or abducting her. They were gonna do something with Hypatia, I guess. And of course we find this incense addict, exactly how we found her the first time, unresponsive and passed out. I should have let the Ratatouille take her because this isn't good. Guess who's back? The purple smoke guy. Turns out whatever incense she's smoking has the side effect of connecting her consciousness with a god, and he's kind of obsessed with her over that, so we really got to get her to a clinic or something, because this just can't keep happening. After the whole Balladeer incident, we all decided to meet up in the Grand Bazaar and throw our bloody coup into effect, but first we wanted to recruit Moo-loo, the half-cowgirl dancer. Listening to Popcorn Bucket Head talk for 10 minutes drove our Haminator dude insane, and Paimon and I got thrown in jail. That's enough, Paimon. That's enough of that. So the plan is going along as scheduled, and Dea comes over and breaks us out, old 4 ears. Just keep her ears to the ground. I don't know. There's a joke there somewhere. We meet up with the creepy forest goblin child, and she's in her room with her supercomputer, just sitting out. And she's like, hey, I need you to go run an errand for me, so you know we're going to. So, after a couple of fights, some fun little puzzles, and falling into the purple smoke probably one too many times, I finally found Mr. Angst himself, and unfortunately he has a mech now. And he's a little more terrifying than I thought he would be. Yeah, he might be a problem. But even a god doesn't stand a chance against my sweet madams, this long-eared pig, and pure low-power determination. I finally annoy him enough to unlock his emotionally unstable form, which is just terrifying. I can barely reach this guy's toes. I'm not winning this. I guess I've done so little damage for so long that the boss fight finally evolves out of pity. I thought Nahida got murdered, but it was just another dream sequence. I genuinely cannot trust this region anymore. Go back to biting this guy's ankles for the 100th and some time. Then the evil little forest goblin apparently decides psychological warfare isn't enough anymore and just rips the gnosis out of this poor guy. Yes! We did it! I defeated a god-powered mech and rescued the forest goblin. There's no way there's another quest after this. If there is, I am going to have a full-on mental break. Yarr! After 73 psychological attacks and one giant robot god, I finally found me true calling. Piracy. Me and me first mate, Paimon, are gonna steal this ship. These be my waters now, Hilly Charles. They took my sanity, but I taking your ship. We've commandeered the ship, Paimon. Where be the plunder, navigator? Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your stance on pirates, Irminsul healed my mind, so the pirate thing is gone. And we also lost our boat, so there's really no point. But to sum things up, I tried to cut down the tree, and when that didn't happen, another forest gremlin came out, and then the two little forest gremlins talked to each other. They ended up having a hug battle until one of them absolutely just exploded the other one. We made it back, and of course the Dotor was waiting, and Paimon and I were taking a nice little nap. Make it back for one more awkward dinner. Forest Goblin hijacked my body for feelings again. I can't do this anymore! And finally, what feels like a time loop of emotional goodbyes, 15 mental breakdowns, several dream loops, one forced pirate arc, and enough box 4 trauma to last my entire life, we can finally head toward Fontaine. Oh, Sumeru. I came here expecting trees and scholars, and instead I got psychologically attacked for like 40 straight hours. I got trapped in a festival time loop, developed an unhealthy attachment to Box 4, got possessed by the Forest Goblin multiple times, watched reality collapse every other quest, and somehow ended up fighting a giant god robot while surviving entirely on my sweet madams and low damage determination. I'll never forget Moo-loo, Hamhaitham, Bad Ear Boy, and whatever terrifying thing that was happening with the whole possessed Catherine tracking my energy levels like a fantasy ex-girlfriend. And somehow, despite all that, Sumeru might actually be my favorite region so far. Thank you guys so much for watching. Seriously, this series has been insanely fun to make, and I appreciate all the support and all the comments correcting my pronunciation every single episode. Next time we're headed to Fontaine, which hopefully means less emotional trauma, but knowing this game, probably not. I'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you again.